Turn mic on. Call this meeting of the Oroville Arts Commission, and I understand there might be some kids at Palermo Elementary School maybe looking at our live feed. So hi there, if you're there. Welcome. So we'll go ahead and stand for the flag salute, and who would like to lead?
I'll do it.
Okay, Commissioner Krantz.
Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, just in case anybody wondering why I saluted, I'm a veteran, and veterans get to salute the flag. Just a little note to maybe you Palermo kids that are watching. So we're going to go ahead and do our roll call.
We had Commissioner Tamori,
Present?
Commissioner Krantz,
Present.
Commissioner Johnson is absent, we had Commissioner Raymond.
Here.
And just want to mention that we do have a vacant spot for your information, since we're being so efficient. There's no presentations this meeting, but I understand we may have a video? So Martin Taylor is a sculptor, and would we want to wait for that to see if he'll do that at the moment, or should we go on? Okay. So further down. Okay. So we'll go ahead and do our approval of the minutes. If the commissioners had a chance to read through it, anybody want to approve the minutes?
I'll approve it.
Okay, and is there a second?
I second.
And a second. So, all in favor? Okay, the minutes have been approved. Well, wait a minute, not yet. You gonna vote? You gonna say yes or no?
Oh, I thought I did. Sorry.
Mine's not working.
Mine's not working.
Oh, okay. Are they?
Well,
Okay, sorry, we had difficulties, but can we just say verbally, Commissioner Raymond?
she says yes, right? No.
Nick, Commissioner Tamori,
Said yes.
Commissioner Krantz.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Yours goes on, yes, so I think they're mixed up.
Maybe you have to trade places. I don't know. Well, we have one visitor. I was wondering if you were going to say something, you could fill out a card or something, or no? Okay. Just taking care of business here. All right, so we're moving on to regular business and discussion of public art, potential art projects, and provide direction to the staff. So, open discussion, right?
Well, let me give a little bit of background and context. So during the January 14th meeting, the commission chose two works of art. One was for a mural and one was for a statue. The mural has been approved and it's gone to, the location the location of the mural is also owned by the requester. The building is owned by the requester.
Correct.
So that is going to the Historic Commission because it is in the Downtown Overlay Historic District. So that has to be approved first. Well, actually, it was approved at the last meeting. And so now it goes to the council for approval of the purchase. The other piece was intended to go at the Butte County Office of Education campus, And they held a meeting and they determined that they do not want to have another art piece on their campus. So the item as it's written today is to find another location for that piece to go. And then if it goes to if it's going to in the downtown area, it will also need to go to the Historic Commission first, and then it will go to the City Council meeting for approval.
So commissioners, do we have any ideas or discussion? Commissioner Rayon.
Good thing it's not working, but.
Okay, go ahead, you
So
have the floor.
I had a couple questions. So was there a specific reason why BCOE does not want it on their property?
They didn't want the maintenance. I think actually Commissioner Tamori, you probably can answer that better. You actually spoke with them.
Yeah, they were concerned about maintenance, but also liability if it was damaged, and it was.
They had several concerns, I think, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to go back and reassure them or anything unless I talked to all of you, but that's basically their. That was their response,
So.
and they have a. It's like a committee, not the. It didn't even go to their board, but they have like a committee that talks about things. So.
Right. So if it's owned by the city, would they be responsible for any damage? Or I thought we made a fund for if something needs to be repainted or like touched up. We put a bunch of money in there to like pay an artist to like keep it up nice.
I don't think
Is
we have
that
a separate fund.
responsibility on the
I think-
landowner, or is that the Arts Commission job? To
I,
keep our murals up to date and whatever.
I'm not clear on that, actually.
So, I mean, we try to do everything we can to have our public art
No. I can.
able to, maintain it and all, but the business owner has really the ultimate responsibility, I think, for maybe after it gets on there. Commissioner Krantz?
So who maintains or what entity maintains Butte County Office of Education buildings, grounds, sidewalks, anything else that could be a liability? Is that the city? Is that their own?
The city actually owns the property, as I understand it, and they lease it from us, but they are responsible for all the maintenance on that property.
Yeah, they have a extensive maintenance branch.
BCOE does?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I mean, there's two ways you could look at this. I could go back and assure them that any damages, I guess we would have to have some sort of declaration or to say that they won't be responsible for any damages.
Well, I mean, just what's coming to my mind is anything is possible. You don't have a crystal ball. That sculpture could fall off that wall and hit somebody sitting in the back row, God forbid. But you know what I mean? We don't know what's going to happen or not going to happen. Is that going to be a hindrance every time we're suggesting something be placed somewhere downtown? Is what might happen?
Well, the downtown part is the Historic Advisory Commission. So that's a separate thing. I don't think they even mentioned about liability from people getting hurt. I didn't really hear that, but that could be one of their concerns.
Okay, because I mean, I know it is a large scale piece.
I think
We've talked about having other things, sculptures, various things placed around the city, and I don't remember this coming up as a concern.
So just to quote from the response, it just said that they're concerned about maintaining and potential damage to it given other activities that have happened in the past. So there might have been some things that happened. I mean, there's two other works there. One is a ceramic buffalo hide Native American sculpture, which I'm proud of because my kids did that one. And then the other one's Ishi, but it's way up out of the way. I don't remember the old Ishi being damaged, but that's the only two things that they have. Actually, there was a third monkey on the wall, but that one was painted over because a lot of people deemed it a little bit obscene the way the tail looked hanging down. So
There's also like a totem pole. I just noticed the other day. That's like very faded and out there. But so did we get Martin Taylor on so he can hear us? And are we able to say hi to him or meet him?
Hi, can you hear me?
not yet.
There we go.
There we go. Hi, Martin. Welcome.
I'm on the screen.
So this is Martin Taylor, the artist, sculptor. Misty, you want to take over?
Sure. So this is Martin Taylor. I noticed his art like a few years ago. I noticed the Seeds of Dream. It's a huge head that lights up at night and you can climb inside of it. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how you started making sculptures?
Hi, yeah. So I have a background in 3D design, and I kind of started out doing little origami sculptures with paper, laser cutting them. And then I learned about the Burning Man grants. Burning Man actually grants money to people to build art, and I applied for one of those. My first project was a large turtle that people could walk underneath. So that one was also made with the similar origami metal style. That was in 2018. And since then, I've also made small sculptures. I've made other large sculptures. I've leased them out to different cities, events, and I've also sold them for permanent display. So because they're sturdy and resistant to the elements and tampering and all that, I often I sort of have them permanently out there in the world on display. So the piece that we're discussing today is called Touch the Sky. And it's a winged woman that is currently in Vacaville. She's been there since July of 2024. She's in the middle of their downtown. She's on a bridge that connects Main Street to their main park. So she gets a lot of traffic. Before that, she was actually in downtown Napa. So she's been, continuously on display in the elements, rain and shine. And they've really liked her in Vacaville. I think they would almost like to keep her. The thing with Vacaville is that they don't have some type of grant or something for this type of art. So they were actually trying to raise money, maybe with a Kickstarter or something. I mean, even the mayor, is behind this. He, the whole city council, the mayor, they came out to the opening of the sculpture and were very excited about it. They organized a whole event. But they were going to do some type of different, unusual fundraising. And they didn't have very much budget at all for it. So I was looking for something that a budget more fitting the size. I mean, it's a big piece, and also a permanent home. It's meant to be out there on display forever. So I like leasing them out. It can be fun and it can be a good way to interact with different communities and expose different people to the art. But I also like to move on from the pieces and do a new project. So finding
I've
a permanent home is a
sorry.
good way to find a permanent place for it.
Yeah, thank you. So I've seen both of your pieces in person, and they're just beautiful. Like, it's so much excitement and life around them. Like, people walking by people are so excited to see your sculptures. and I love them. So some people were worried about
Hey, Misty.
the maintenance. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess we were concerned about the maintenance.
Yeah, so it uses LEDs inside that are actually they're not there's no computers or anything. It's not advanced. They are just 120 volts. Um, I've never had one of these break ever. I mean, I have some pieces at home, and some of them we actually leave it on continuously. Some of them have been on continuously for almost 5 years now. So if an LED inside was to break, I could send you basically like the piece that you bolt in there 15 years from now. I don't know. This is very easy to replace. In terms of Napa and Vacaville, they haven't had any problems. They haven't contacted me that something is damaged or broken. And I've been to the opening, I haven't been back to check on it. So I don't, as far as I know, it's doing fine. In terms of the material, it's like a weathered, rusted metal and also some stainless. It has a lot of little holes in it. So my experience with graffiti is that graffiti artists, they like a good canvas, something flat and white. And they usually prefer something that's like relatively smooth. With pens, you can't write with a pen on rusted metal. It just doesn't work. And if you did write on it and sprayed it or did anything to it, you could really just sand it off. With the rusted metal, you could sand it a little bit with whatever type of sandpaper, and that rust would regrow. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so just a comment. So our another concern is the theme might not be consistent with the city of Oroville. We're sort of a historic town, and we're in the foothills. Not very cosmopolitan. We're really kind of country, gold mining town kind of thing. So your theme was touch the sky, correct?
Yeah, I mean, everyone is going to see what they see in the art. You know, I encourage you to look at the images to determine if it fits in your town. If you think it doesn't fit in your town, I mean, that's totally valid, you know. I think oftentimes, sometimes I feel like it's more the material choice that will determine a little bit about how a piece fits into the built environment. So because it's rusted material and it's not really flashy colors, I feel like it mingles well with, I don't know, the types of materials you'd already find in your city.
Right. So
In terms of the subject matter, that's up to you. You know, you are the expert on your town and what people there appreciate.
well, appreciate that. So I guess what I was getting at was that maybe the downtown area might not be the perfect place, but we might have some other locations, I think, and but that would be some further discussion. Commissioner Krantz wants to speak with you.
To address all of us here, I just quickly checked. Vacaville's city slogan is Place of Peace.
I don't know if I can hear you. I don't think it's coming through.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure.
She's all twisted around.
Is this working? Okay.
I hear you now.
Vacaville's city slogan is Place of Peace, and
Okay, I can't hear you anymore. Sorry.
Now it's on.
Microphone
You're
not
on now,
working?
Andy.
Now you're on.
You're on now.
Okay. Vacaville's city slogan is Place of Peace. I think reaching for the sky, yes, that fits in with that. But the word vaca means cow. And Napa's city slogan is Cheers the Good Life. And Napa translated in Spanish means leather or leather-like. But the people in that community maybe have embraced this sculpture and defined it the way they want to define it. And I think Reach for the Stars is a great slogan for Oroville. It doesn't have to be what defines us, and it doesn't have to be our historical accuracy, but why can't it just be an additional message and an additional feeling? Right? None of these towns where this beautiful sculpture has been placed, city slogan or historical significance is reaching for the sky. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you.
So that's a good point. I think Oroville is a city of gold. I don't know if there's any other additional, you could be reaching for gold.
She's probably standing on gold. Who knows?
Could be, yes.
But I think we should take it to city council anyways. Just like push it.
So the item today is actually just picking a spot where it would go.
Right, so we need to find maybe another location that, reaching for the sky,
Is there any potential location, maybe near Table Mountain, somewhere where people go hiking, somewhere where people are exploring, looking for something, searching, enjoying the wildflowers, what Table Mountain signifies? Is there any area where maybe the Historical Society wouldn't be as concerned of significance to Orville's history, but maybe just where it could be in an area that represents, we're still searching, we're looking, we're reaching for higher goals, something like that anybody can think of?
The Continental is, okay, I'm on. Is it called Continental Park that's on the levee?
Centennial.
Centennial, sorry. So is that off limits? Is that considered downtown? Because it's close enough to downtown, people could still walk by, take pictures in
It's in
front
the
of it.
downtown overlay area.
Okay.
I mean,
And
it
then
doesn't mean that
Riverman?
you can't pick a spot and we take it to the next planning commission, which is also the Historic Society, and see if they have any comments or concerns.
so, okay, well, I would really thank you for giving us some insights and taking your time to speak with us. I guess we need
Yeah,
to
of course.
just, well, as a commission, we'll go ahead and discuss the matter further. Did you, did you approach Martin about a red-tailed hawk sculpture?
We did talk to him about a red-tailed hawk sculpture, and you guys wanted him to take the Fallons down, or what are they called? Talons?
Talents.
The
Oh, talents. We were thinking it was too,
He was very, yeah, Martin, go ahead and talk about it. So you said you could make a red-tailed hawk, right? So,
Yeah.
we thought it was too ferocious.
I like to make animals. I don't know if you were looking for a full hawk or just the wings, but personally, I prefer making the whole animal. We could always tuck the talons in there, but I think having at least the head and the beak is a nice to complete it.
Just to give you a little more background on it, originally we talked about having wings in a red-tailed hawk or some sort of bird so that people could stand in front of it, and then it would look like they're the body of the bird, and then their wings, you know how cities have murals of wings, and people stand in front of the wings.
I could do this. I
We were
mean,
thinking it'd be
it's
good to
definitely
have a hawk, and the background would be downtown Orville or something. That was our thinking. That's what really got us into the sculptures.
Yeah, of course. Is this only for daytime or is this with the lights? Because
are the lights a lot harder to add?
yeah, it's significantly more. I mean, it's electrical wiring.
So,
Also, people often don't take as many photos at night, so something to
Okay.
keep in mind. That's the goal here.
so I think Dave said he wouldn't mind if it was without lights,
Right.
but I think they're just so beautiful at night. But, you have to get it approved and.
Well, it could, if cost-wise or whatever the decision came down to, could we, instead of having it illuminate, could we have lights
On it.
that come on at nighttime and just focus on that? Maybe that would be a compromise.
Yeah,
So
but he
people
would,
can
he
still-
would have to
that
do
would,
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So he did submit the offer, and he did say that the red-tailed hawk, he would do it for 40K, right?
Yeah.
With the lights.
With the lights
We're
included.
assuming the scale of a person, you know, as you were mentioning, with them being the size of the body.
Yes.
But I mean, if you don't want the lights integrated into it, I feel like that would be something for your landscape architect to build.
Correct. Mhm.
Is on you and your permitting process.
Well, I think we thought it would look really special with the lights in
I think it-
illuminating.
Yeah, that's what I suggested. But I mean, you know, if, as I said before, people don't really take as many photos at night. So if that's the intent, you know.
Are we done?
So I'm just feeling a little confused. Are we,
First, we're looking for a site, possibly a different site for the touch, is it touch the
Touch the
sky
Sky.
or reach for the sky?
okay.
Yep, you got
and
it.
then-
First one.
So we're going to
and if we
suggest other
did the
places.
red-tailed hawk, it would be
And the red head talk
the whole
is,
body or not?
Well, what he's saying is that if you were going, if the idea is for pictures and you don't want the body, then there's really no point to put the lights on it because it'll be just wings sitting there. But if you want both to have, you could be, take pictures and have it lit up at night, then you probably want the body to be included because otherwise it's just wings at night that are
Yeah.
lit up.
Yeah, that would be so pretty.
so in case you didn't hear that, the idea was, originally, I told you, it was the wings, but three-dimensional. But now we're talking about, we're going to have a discussion about lights, but we'll get back to you on that.
Sounds good.
Okay?
What is your timeline for that project? When were you? It sounds like that was your vision. So I assume maybe you have kind of a.
Well, no, we don't really have a timeline. Everything's easy here in Oroville.
Okay.
But
I
I
feel
It'd be
like
nice
he
to do them
wants
at the
one.
same time.
I feel like we need to give him like something.
Do you need a timeline?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't need a timeline, but for reference, Vacaville's lease expires in July. So, for one thing, it would be nice to pick it up in Vacaville and drive straight to Oroville. That would certainly be nice. It would also be nice if I delivered both of them. That would be pretty cool. But that's not necessary. It'd just be nice. So if the timeline doesn't work out like that, then we'll do whatever is convenient for you.
So to give you some clarity about our time frame, if we're choosing a location for either piece in the downtown area, there's a historic overlay which requires it to go to the Planning Commission first. So we could technically get that on the meeting for the 27th, and then it goes to the city council meeting. So it would be too late to get it on to the meeting for the 1st of April, so it would go to the meeting, would be on the 14th, I guess, 2 weeks later,
Of what, which month?
April.
April.
Oh,
I mean, so that timeline we could, if you choose a place tonight and you have a place to go and it's in the downtown, then we have to go to the Planning Commission first for the historic overlay review. And then if you pick a place that's not in the downtown, that step is not necessary. So but it does have to go to council. So the fastest that we can make this happen would be Planning Commission on the 27th and then City Council on the 14th.
okay. So like if we chose, what is the park out there at the end of the,
Centennial, or, no, BCOE.
no, the one at the end of Montgomery? That's
Is that, you mean the one up by was that Riverbend?
Riverbed?
Riverbed? So if we chose,
We don't own Riverbend, that's Feather River Parks and Rec, so you'd have to go to them to get, you'd have to
Right.
get, you'd have to get.
would that be a
permission from them.
spot?
It could be, but then that's a whole different, I don't know what their timelines, when they meet, but they don't meet, do they meet monthly, do you know? But so we would have to get on their agenda and then take that to them. And that, I mean, that could be a thing, you know, but I'm just.
I mean, it's right by the river. It's got all the young kids out there, and
So that would be for the Touch the Sky or for?
Touch the Sky.
a Photo op?
to
Okay.
touch the sky.
So if we did want to do the photo op, that, we can't really vote on that tonight, right?
You could,
So that it
because
could get sent downtown, that one could be downtown, right?
Well, we don't have a spot for that. One suggestion was
On
the fish
Centennial?
hatchery
Okay.
up top of the green bridge, so that the background would be the city of
I
Oroville.
like it.
I like it.
Okay.
Okay, so we could take that to the planning commission to the next planning commission meeting.
That's
our-
the 40K one with the
Right.
wings.
And could you put together a drawing for how that might look?
I think he did. He already submitted. It's just basically the same thing, but
They are not
without
going
the
to
body.
approve, they're not going to approve it. I mean, I can
It's
tell you
not
right
the
now that
exact front-
right. And, you know, they might like when I first saw the drawing, I thought that looked really menacing, but then I thought it could be sort of a fun photo op to be
Yeah.
like you're getting.
Getting dragged.
Right, yeah. But what we take to council or to the planning commission for this downtown historic district, they're going to want to see what the drawing will actually be. So if it's not the one that present, they're going to want us to come back with the one that would be chosen.
Okay.
No, you shouldn't confuse them.
Yeah,
It's not a
right.
good
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
Okay. So,
I was just told a red-tailed hawk originally, actually. So I can draw wings.
And then
I get the assignment. I can.
I still want to make sure that we're clear. And so it's a full bird with no lights. I mean, it still could have lights, but then it doesn't have the wing, like the person with the wings, or it's wings.
Well, you
with
could
no
do
light.
the
That's
whole, but you could do the whole hawk, because the hawk's really low and the head would cover up if
A
somebody was
person
standing
could
up.
cover up the body
Yeah.
of the hawk, right?
So
And
it'd
then
be
you
way
could have-
better to have the head on it.
And then you could have lights inside of that one, because then at night, then it still says something. It's not just wings that
Yeah.
are lit up.
let's go.
You got that
Yeah,
written
let
down?
me go with that. And
Let's write it down.
now I've heard directly your thoughts on it, and I can adjust it.
Great.
Okay.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Really enjoy your work, by the way.
I know. It's amazing.
Thank you, thank you.
Have
And
to
if
come to
you, if you do
Oroville.
have any more questions, you can always just email me. I'll answer right away.
So, one more question. If we get a spot tonight and we say, yes, we can put it, touch the sky, then we can take it to,
Feather River
City.
Parks and Rec, if it's going to go in Nelson Park, Riverbend Park, then it has to go to Feather River Parks and Rec first. If it's going to go in the downtown overlay, it has to go to the planning commission first.
So,
okay, but if we
Well-
have a spot for it tonight, that doesn't have to go to any of those other things?
do we have
can
enough
send it-
commissioners here? We only have 3.
There's only 4 commissioners right now. Even if there was 5, you would still have a quorum, so you'd
Oh,
be
okay.
okay.
I'm just making sure.
So could we vote, we can't vote on
So you have to
doing
make a
the
motion.
40? So can I make a motion to commission Martin Taylor to create the red-tailed hawk wings with lights and a head, or the body?
Well, I think he was talking about the full bird.
The full bird with the talons tucked under so that it's not gonna drag anyone off.
It would be covered up by a body.
We're
if
just
it was-
getting rid of the talon.
Just get rid of the talons.
Martin, could you maybe give a couple different drawings?
Well, we'd have to look at it, but we're,
We already had the drawings. He
Well,
already
but I
sent us
mean,
one.
he did. He's got that one, and we can use that as one. But well, yeah, that's okay.
Talents?
It is, yeah,
I think it has.
it's your choice.
Yeah,
So
it's
can
on-
I make a motion for us to, like, move forward with the 40K for the red-tailed hawk? You have the one that he sent us?
So I have page 31 of the packet from January. And that shows all of the drawings and renderings of Reach for the Sky and Red-tailed Hawk, if anybody has that to refer to. I think that's the only.
Yeah, that's the only one.
One that I have.
Yeah, there's currently no other drawings, but I could make them, and probably right after this meeting. Or I could even adjust that one that I already made. Maybe I could remove the talons or tuck them in there somehow. That's another option.
I mean, I could see a
Usually-
body in front of that.
I could kind of
You-
picture it
you-
at Centennial. Yeah.
You know, because I designed these on the computer, what would happen is we would draw the concept that you like, and then I guess you would be voting on this. Sounds like there's other votes that happen after you vote on it. At some point, once I have enough approval, it's getting designed on the computer. Then I can make this is exactly what it will look like render. You know, this is exactly the design, down to the, eighth of an inch, and render it. And even if you have some images of the location you want it, I can render it into the image so you can get a sense of how big it is in that environment, with a little person or something. And then, you can use that as your whatever final approval. I don't usually like to do that in the beginning because that's actually a lot of work. So if it's been approved and now we need to determine where does it go, exactly the position, maybe some other stakeholders, team need to have their say, then you can, once the money's already approved, you can take the design and then we can tweak it a little bit, move it around, get a little bit more feedback, something like that.
Well, the money couldn't be approved until the 14th of April at the earliest.
Yeah, that's fine.
I kind of feel like if you're making a recommendation to go to council or to go to the planning commission, that maybe you ought to see the drawing first and actually approve a specific drawing.
I agree. I think we need to see the drawing
Yeah.
first, and
So the super in-depth drawing, so like, are we gonna be paying him to be working on that? Because that's taking time away from whatever project he's already working on.
Oh, I can
So-
just draw something by hand to better explain the concept.
Okay,
Then you'll vote on it. It sounds like
yeah,
April
that's a better plan.
17th or so. Then after that design, the concept is approved, I'll make a computer rendering, and then you can decide exactly where it goes, how the orientation is, the little details. And I don't know, maybe you'll need to use it for the planning commission or whatever other things it has to go through.
okay. And then you had mentioned that you could do like an origami like class or something. So what would that look like? Like if we were doing something downtown or like meet at like a coffee shop and anyone who was interested would come and do the origami class? What was that origami class you were talking about?
Part of your call for proposals, was community engagement. So in the past, when I've done community engagement, I've often reached out to local school teachers. School teachers are always looking for cool activities. They love it.
My
They
students
never
were
say
super
no,
excited
especially when
when
the
I told them.
materials are paper.
Yeah.
And then, I showed people some stuff about origami, hopefully with the kids there at the sculpture, because then that's like another inspiring thing, but it could be wherever, that's up to the teachers, up to you. This is just a strategy I've used in the past. I've done recycled bottle cap collages with kids before. And I've given talks about recycling. I've made recycling art before.
That's awesome.
So
Great. Thank
I've-
you.
always had good experience with those kind of engagements.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll be waiting for a drawing.
Yep.
All right, sounds
Okay,
good.
thank you, Martin.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for considering me.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. And so we're discussing some other things, and so we did come up with maybe another location for the Reach the Sky. And we'll have to approach the Feather River Rec Department to see about that. That's a decision that we want to go ahead and move with.
Would you like to do another meeting, squeeze another meeting in before the 2 months?
You know, that would be good because the other idea is we didn't get any nominations for Your Voice in the Arts.
Well, that's why I was really bringing it up, and then that gives you an opportunity to talk about this again, and we could maybe speed that timeline up. I can come back and figure out when the Feather River Parks and Rec next meeting is, and see if that's something that works.
Okay.
So,
I could reach out to Feather River Parks because I'm kind of working with them a little bit with Showcase. So,
I have a pretty good relationship with Brian Wilson right now too. So,
oh, you can go ahead. Yeah. All right, sounds good. So it would be good to have another meeting. And
I think it's going to have to be next week. I think. What do we have next week? We have council meeting on Tuesday. So we could pick another day of the week.
What about Butte College?
what about it? Put it out
What
there.
about, okay, so I'm trying to think of reach for the sky, what that means to me. What I could interpret that to be that would be pleasing to our community and to the people who are ultimately going to make this decision. And I loved the idea of BCOE because I think that's such an easy tie-in to education and achieving your goals. What about a school? What about Butte College?
Well, it has to be inside the community.
Isn't Butte College technically,
No,
In
it's got to be
Oroville?
in the city limits.
okay. Could there be any potential for the sculpture being near a school?
Anywhere that it
Or is
goes.
that all considered downtown?
No, I mean, like there are schools that aren't in the downtown, so that's a thing. But you need to have the school's approval for whoever. I mean, anywhere you go, it's going to require permission. The council, if it's outside the historic district, it just goes to council for funding and approval
Okay.
for the location and the statue and everything.
Okay,
If you go to anyone else's property, you'll have to get approval from that person or that entity's property, or to be put on their property.
Whoa, but then if we contacted the schools, we'd have a big problem.
Well, you're back to the BCOE, I think, right?
Not for BCOE, but I was just thinking that every school would want it for their site. So then we'd be like,
Well, you're going to now the board of the, what's the school board called? You're going to the school board for their approval. So,
but what I'm saying is there's so many schools out there, we're opening a can of worms. Everybody would want it, I would think.
well, I think that's a potential possibility, but the other thing is I'm wondering, in the non-historic downtown areas, then what are we looking at in terms of being set up for electricity and, right? Because wasn't that also one of the appealing things about that location was they already had the setup? So if we get too far out of town, then that's going to pose a challenge.
well, and I'm sorry if it seems like I'm directing you away from downtown. I'm not. We just have to take it to the planning commission.
So there's the other ideas, there's Martin Luther King Park, there's Southside Community Center. I mean, maybe,
I'm just trying to think of somewhere that's not, there's people at night, so they can see it lit up and not just, the homeless people like hanging out around it. Sorry, they need light too. Okay.
It occurred to me too, actually, that if we did it at the schools, it probably requires approval from the State Board of Architecture.
Possibly.
Probably because if it's going to be a permanently mounted structure on a school property, I'm
Right.
pretty sure that that'll be required.
So what we need to figure out is a way to poll the community, the different businesses or the different locations, and see what or who would be wanting this.
Right.
But then the second thing is, we'd have to have maybe a lottery or a drawing of some sort to give a winner. You see
feel
what I'm
like
saying?
people just don't realize how cool it is, and once it's here, they're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, that's the coolest piece of art we've ever had." But yeah, oh sorry.
Oh, you want a
I interrupted.
permission to speak? Sure.
Can you pull a card, ma'am? No, just kidding.
Erin Lackey, owner of Erin Lackey Photography. I just said, is the dam part of the city limits? No.
That's
So it's
DWR, I think.
95966 or
State
65.
Department of Water Resources.
Okay. Just thinking of, I was thinking Oroville High School, but also like the surrounding area. There's that little bridge on Hammond. No.
On Orange Avenue, I know. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's at a slight elevation. It could be seen from a
Yes.
distance.
Or going up at the top of Table Mountain Boulevard, past the Green Bridge. So there's the roundabout, you go up to the top. I was thinking, touch the sky at the top
Right.
of that. That's still city limits. It's not until you get over to, where is it? Past on 4th that you start getting into county. So the top of Thermalito Hill by the county buildings
Olive
So,
there's that whole, I
So
think
the
that's
main-
city limits.
touching the sky at the end of the.
so the mayor actually, another thing that we were going to discuss, had some ideas about the roundabouts. And one of the idea was put the eagle at the top of
That eagle.
that eagle at the roundabout and call it the Eagle Roundabout. But it makes more sense now to me that if you're touching the sky, you're going up past the Green Bridge and up the hill, past all the sculptures, and there's a sculpture up there, and you're touching the sky.
And the mosaics, you're gonna pass the
That's what I'm
mosaics.
saying,
Yeah, oh, yeah. So,
So
How would that be?
We have had,
We're gonna have more.
I brought this up in
lights.
our, say, executive team meeting here, and there was concern from Public Works, Code Enforcement, and the police.
For accidents?
Nope, that it'll get vandalized.
Oh,
So that would be, and actually that would be the case any place it went.
right.
So this over here, they talked about that if it went up onto, if it was mounted up on a pole, 9 feet apparently is the height that would be out of reach from someone being able to climb it and get to it. So, so that is a whole nother thing for consideration.
I like that he said that it's made of holes, so like people don't like to spray paint on, and that makes perfect sense. I want a blank canvas too, a sturdy one.
Well, the only other discussion about the roundabout was safety, people being distracted, when they're going around the roundabout. But I remember seeing several sculptures in roundabouts, so, I kind of like that idea, but, who would you have to talk to about the roundabout at the top of the hill?
That would be council.
Okay, so,
And we'd need probably Alyssa Stutz, our city engineer, to weigh in on that also.
Yeah,
She's
so-
already heard this, so.
yeah, I just want to let you know that we have 19 mosaics installed, and none of the mosaics have been touched or vandalized so far. So, anyway, so I would like to say, can we pursue maybe that as a location?
Yes.
That avoids all kinds of other things like having a contest or surveys, and we'll see if that might fly.
I like that.
And
And that-
then for the The photo opportunity one, I was like going along Centennial, and there's like that open grass, and there's also a big curve out, like the circle, and there's like nothing hanging out in there, but people will probably gather there, I guess, probably when they're going to see the lights, when we light up the Green Bridge, and you would be able to see, the wings from there. I don't know. I don't know the place you were picturing, Dave, for the,
Oh, well, that'd be
The photo
DW. It
opportunity.
was right at the base of, as you walk up, but,
Okay.
I mean, I
Great.
just throwing it out there. So we don't have to vote on this, is that a little,
No, because we'll have another meeting.
yeah,
So we should talk about, when do you want to do this next meeting? When are y'all available?
What is it? Sorry.
For an emergency meeting, so that,
Oh.
because we'll talk about the Voice in the Arts, which we'll have to have a short period of application so we can have this turned around in time for the state of city.
yes, we do. Yeah,
And then we can also put on the agenda, it'll give you all a chance to think about it a little bit too, and then maybe he'll have his drawings back in time, and then it'll give us something to actually take back to the Historical Commission, if it's in the downtown. And then we can explore the Feather River Parks and Rec bit and see if they're open to having a sculpture in their park. And then, let's see, so it's just those three things, right?
should
and see
we-
about the roundabout too, so.
Let's prioritize the roundabout, I
Okay.
think.
So I made that slideshow and I tried to share it with you guys, and I wanted, if there's a place you picture putting the touch the sky sculpture, if you could add a picture on there, and I made a sticker out of the sculpture so you can move it around and put it on the photo. If you guys want to add to that slideshow that I sent you, that would be awesome. If you have an idea of where you picture it, or
Be good if Martin could do that possibly, because that sculpture, it's really big. And so each picture, you need to know like the scale of the picture so that you're,
And I kind of tried to scale it when I put the pictures at BCOE, and it was cool how he's talked about the structure matching like the environment, and it matched that little where all those trees are like ascending, and so that was kind of cool how the sculpture matched like the stone behind it, and there was like a plug-in on the other side of the stone. Anyways, so we're not gonna talk about that, but I'll keep adding pictures to it if that helps. I don't know.
So
Commissioner
what's a date?
Grants.
What's a date that would be good for you to do?
Oh,
We're talking about next week, a 4:00 meeting? Or before, is it before April? What did I write down?
Next week would be good.
Before the 27th or before April 11th?
and we're talking next week, if we can.
Next week, okay.
I'm available.
I'm available at 4:00, I think, next week, anytime.
I'm sorry, so we can't do it Tuesday because that is council meeting day.
Wednesday?
Sure.
I feel bad that, did we get the update about the mural so far? What's going on with the mural? Aaron Lackey's mural?
Oh, it went to the Historic Commission. They approved it, so it's going to council.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, and when is that? That's the 21st?
I think it'll be next Tuesday.
Okay. Thanks.
Maybe we should do it Thursday or Friday, because I guess a little more time for,
Yeah,
No.
actually, the chamber has their board meeting on Wednesday.
Thursday?
And is it not like wrapping around the top like we thought? Like, is it not able to go, it was gonna be on the front
Around
and then
the side.
around the side? It is going to be able
It's
to
going to
go
be, oh, good.
around the side?
Not on
The bottom?
the lower building, but my building, yes.
Her building is taller than the building next to her, so she can go on her building. The other person didn't want to be part of it.
Okay, thanks.
So are we doing Thursday, the 20th at 4? Is that
Sure.
what we've decided?
Okay.
Not necessarily for that emergency meeting, but at some future meeting, could we get a status of our city seal? What is happening with that, or
The
is
logo
it
or the
still-
seal?
Huh?
The logo or the seal?
Is that
That's the seal.
the seal? Were we waiting for something to be added to it?
That
By the
actually has not
artist?
been something brought up I mean, it has been discussed very, very high level. I haven't heard anyone bring that up for probably a year.
Oh, it's been a really long time
Yeah.
since we voted on it, yeah. Because as I remember, it seemed like we voted to mostly keep it the same, but then council wanted just something slightly added to it that didn't sound like it was going to be anything really time-consuming or difficult for the artist to do. I think the artist was agreeable
Was
to
that
whatever
before my
that small
time?
thing was.
It was? Yeah, that was before my time. I'm not familiar with that conversation.
No. I can't remember. I mean,
It was right before I came.
Because we had several really great entries from the
Yeah, that's
public,
right.
from local artists. We decided this has been working for all these years. Here's why I keep bringing this up. Because I think it would be really efficient and really significant if we could have that done to commemorate our 120th anniversary. It seems like that would be, it's been on the back burner for quite a while. It seems like that would be sort of an ideal time to introduce our new seal. And that could be something celebratory, and, you know, I think that could be a fun community announcement. And I know it's only March of 2025, but we all know how fast a year goes. So,
Yeah, it's a big deal to change the seal too. It's generally not a quick process, even though someone can tweak it quite a bit. I mean, easily, there's a whole thing of community buy-in and meetings and all this.
yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it seemed like we were
We-
settling on a design.
It seemed like it was very settled, like 3 years ago.
Because I noticed the sign coming into Oroville now is just a regular old sign, welcome, there's nothing on it.
We had,
So it came up in a council meeting it's around the same time as the logo, where someone requested to have that changed. And I don't recall any discussion about another design that was in process.
okay. could
I'm not saying that
maybe
that didn't
find it in my
happen. I'm just saying
notes.
that
Yeah.
I think it's fallen off the radar.
Okay.
So why don't I put that on to your agenda for the next meeting
I mean, I
also?
guess maybe we just need to find out, is that even something that is going to be done?
Well, if you put it on the agenda for the next meeting and you give us direction to take it to council to request that we explore that, then I can do that.
Okay.
Does everybody know what the Voice of the Arts is? So there's 2 awards. One is for an individual that is stalwart, promoting the arts, supporting the arts, doing the arts in Oroville. And then there's an organization that you would consider that supports the art and also furthers the arts in Oroville. It's just 2 things to try to add to the city, the status of the city celebration, and anyway, so that's what it is. So, I mean, usually I write something down. I didn't do it, but now I get a chance. So you look on the website and fill it out real fast, and we'll just go from there. All right, so I think we got everything done. I was actually thinking we're going to get out of here really fast, but a lot of issues that really need to be addressed. So we'll see y'all next Thursday.
And are we going to discuss at the next meeting if there's any more applications for another art?
I think there might be one coming.
Oh, that would be.
I like that one.
I
Okay.
know, me too.
Okay, let's do that. Just checking. Okay.
We good?
Great.
All right, thanks everybody for your time.
you
That was
next
really kind of
Thursday.
fun.